The classroom shimmered with elegance. Golden sunlight filtered through floor-to-ceiling windows, glinting off polished desks and the smooth marble floor. Every detail screamed luxury. The glistening chandelier, the pristine whiteboard, and the subtle hum of a perfectly air-conditioned room. At the very front, two sisters sat side by side on the first desk. One's face was radiant and black, glowing with kindness, eyes wide with curiosity. Her presence had a quiet, magnetic charm. Beside her, her twin's pale, white face seemed almost cold, sharp-edged, a hint of arrogance lingering in her every glance. Both were only 14, yet their contrasting personalities were impossible to ignore. A teacher, dressed impeccably in a tailored suit, stood confidently by the whiteboard. Her voice was calm, commanding, yet gentle, flowing like warm honey as she delivered her lecture. The students, all boys and girls, sat like statues, their attention fixed, the air heavy with anticipation and silence. Suddenly, the door creaked, heads turned, eyes widening. A young woman entered, her clothes plain and worn, a simple suit that spoke of modest means. Her round belly, barely concealed beneath her shirt, revealed the unmistakable truth. She was expecting. Laughter rippled through the room like a sudden gust of wind. Students whispered, chuckled. Even the white-faced sister snickered, while the black-faced sister's heart clenched. Shame, sorrow, and empathy surged through her. Without a word, she rose. Stepping forward, she approached the young woman, wrapping her arms around her, shielding her from the mockery. It was a quiet act, but one that spoke volumes. Across the room, the teacher's eyes softened, admiration sparking silently. And then the principal arrived. A commanding presence, sharp and discerning. Her gaze settled on the black-faced sister. The room seemed to hold its breath. Something remarkable was about to happen. Luxury had never felt so alive. The classroom pulsed with energy, yet a sense of serenity lingered amidst the lavish surroundings. Every desk gleamed, every notebook meticulously arranged, yet it was the first row that commanded attention. The two sisters sat there, side by side, yet miles apart in personality. The black-faced sister, with her warm, soulful eyes, leaned slightly forward, absorbing every word from the teacher. She nodded gently, her pen gliding over her notebook in smooth strokes, writing not just notes, but thoughts, reflections, and little doodles that captured her imagination. Her mind wasn't just learning, it was connecting, empathizing, understanding. Her white-faced twin, by contrast, slouched slightly, flipping pages with careless fingers, casting smirks toward her classmates, whispering comments meant to assert superiority. The classroom, while luxurious, could not mask the stark contrast between the sisters. Where one radiated humility, the other shimmered with entitlement. Then came the interruption. The cleaning lady entered, her presence awkward yet dignified, her worn suit barely fitting her growing belly. She stepped lightly into the room, broom in hand, eyes downcast. The students, unaccustomed to humility in such grandeur, erupted in laughter. Whispers cascaded like a wave. "Look at her! She's so poor. Her belly looks funny." The white-faced sister joined in, her laughter sharp and cruel, echoing across the polished floor. But the black-faced sister felt none of the amusement. Instead, her chest tightened. She saw not the mockery, but the young woman's vulnerability, her courage to simply exist in a world that would judge her. Without hesitation, she moved closer. Her small hand rested gently on the cleaning lady's shoulder, comforting, steadying, protective. The young woman blinked back tears, stunned by this unexpected kindness. Slowly, she allowed herself to lean against the sister, finding solace in her warmth. The classroom seemed to shift, the laughter faltering. Even the teacher, who had maintained perfect composure, felt a twinge of admiration. "Why are you helping her?" the white-faced sister whispered, her tone dripping with confusion and disdain. The black-faced sister simply shook her head, a soft smile playing at her lips. "Because it's the right thing to do," she whispered back, her voice quiet but resolute. In that moment, the lesson extended far beyond any textbook. It was about courage, empathy, and the unspoken power of standing for someone else when no one else will. Moments later, The principal arrived. Her presence was immediate, commanding the room into a hush. She surveyed the scene, the luxurious classroom, the students frozen mid-laugh, the teacher observing silently, and the black-faced sister standing protectively beside the cleaning lady. Her eyes softened as they landed on a young girl. Here was someone unafraid of ridicule, someone whose actions spoke louder than appearances, wealth, or status. She stepped forward, her heels clicking on the marble floor. "Class," she began, her voice both firm and warm, "what you see here is true courage, and not the courage of defiance, nor the courage of arrogance, but the courage to be kind when hardest." A hush fell over the room. Students exchanged glances, the weight of their laughter suddenly pressing against their chests. Turning toward the black-faced sister, the principal smiled. "You have shown a level of compassion rare at your age. For this, you will receive a unique honor." Her gaze swept across the class. "From this moment, she will serve as a class monitor, not for her looks nor her status, but for her heart, her empathy, and her integrity." The announcement rippled shock through the room. The white-faced sister's smirk faltered, replaced by disbelief. The students' laughter had been replaced by murmurs of admiration. Even the teacher's usually composed expression cracked into a small, proud smile. The black-faced sister felt a wave of humility and gratitude. She glanced at the young cleaning lady, who nodded, tears shimmering, a grateful smile lighting up her face. In that quiet exchange, a bond was sealed, one that transcended wealth, status, and appearances. The principal's words resonated like a gentle bell. "Remember this, all of you. True leadership is not in power or luxury, but in the courage to stand for what is right, to protect and to uplift those in need." The lesson of the day had been learned, not from books, not from lectures, but from the simple, extraordinary act of kindness. In life, appearances are deceiving. Wealth, status, or outward beauty may command attention, but they do not guarantee respect, admiration, or true influence. The story of the black-faced sister teaches us that kindness and empathy are the greatest forms of strength. She did not mock, she did not judge, and she did not seek attention. Instead, she acted from the heart, understanding the quiet pain of someone society might dismiss. In doing so, she became a leader, not through authority, but through the power of compassion. Contrast this with the white-faced sister, whose laughter stemmed from entitlement and arrogance. Her actions brought momentary amusement, but left no lasting impact. True respect is earned not by ridicule, but by standing up for others, especially when it is difficult. The story reminds us that courage is often quiet. It is found in the moments when no one is watching, when your actions speak louder than words. The black-faced sister's bravery lay not in rebellion or defiance, but in her willingness to protect, comfort, and uplift another human being. For young audiences, this lesson is invaluable. It teaches that empathy is not weakness. Integrity is not a burden. True leadership emerges from humility, understanding, and the courage to do the right thing. Ultimately, the world rewards those who act with kindness, not because they seek reward, but because their actions naturally inspire admiration and change. Just like the black-faced sister, anyone, regardless of age, wealth, or appearance, can make a profound difference in someone else's life. And so, let this story be a beacon. Stand for kindness, act with empathy, and embrace humility. True greatness is measured not by status, but by the hearts you touch and the lives you lift.